What is Lady Ada?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Show and Tell. It's me, Lady Ada, with me, Mr. Lady Ada, me with hiccups. We're here at the Adafruit Factory in downtown Manhattan, where we do all our kitting, electronics, manufacturing, and goodies. I know that sometimes we have JP or Noe and Pedro or Liz or others help run the Show and Tell. But now we're back to the OGs, Mr. and Mrs. Lady Ada. We've got about 25 minutes of fun, robotics, visitors, videos, and more.
Yeah.
I'm going to check in with people from around the maker, hacker, engineering community. We also got a live video with Physicist Kitty that we're going to play at the end. But let's kick it off.
We got all sorts of good stuff. So every single week, 7:30 p.m., we do the Show and Tell. And we're trying to do even more with it. So you notice there's more hosts. We have Jayy from DigiKeys coming up. And then we have a pre-recorded one that we're putting in because of a different time zone thing. So we're trying all sorts of new things, but let's first kick it off with Jayy.
Hey, Jayy.
How you doing this week?
I am doing well. Thanks. I try, I moisturize a lot.
Yeah, looking good.
I came and show off my newest little wearable named Fur, standing for Facial Recognition Robot, just FRR. But this one's special because it's built pretty much like I did Helen, but this time I made it a lot smaller and decided to put it in a fanny pack.
That's cool.
It's a lot more portable than how Helen was. And the bad part about it doesn't have any sound. Good part about it, I was able to mess around with the code a bit and get it to look around a lot more, and it actually follows people when it sees people now. So
that's cool.
I'm actually going out tomorrow to test it out in the field at my favorite coffee shop. So I'm hoping to get some content out of that, see how people are going to react to them.
Okay, I've got a quick quiz question. So what's your favorite DigiKey part that you used in this robot?
My favorite DigiKey part, the servos.
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 You got like the servo get pricey, so you got like the hookup. You're set.
Yeah, like that's the most part that I use constantly are servos out of all the microcontrollers and everything. Servos are kind of like my need other than my 3D printers. So the servos are like the DigiKey product I've been using a lot. All
right. Well, when you get a chance, drop the servo in the chat and we'll share it with others because I think everyone wants to know your favorite servos. Because you know servos like nobody else.
Probably because I've blown half of them up, but okay, sure.
All right.
I like your strategy. There's a part shortage and you have, a pretty expensive robotics habit. You know what? Work for DigiKey.
Work for DigiKey.
Smart move.
Yeah, you get the parts
That's
first.
Part one of my plan.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good.
Okay.
All right, Jay. Well, thanks so much and keep coming back. I'm glad to see you. And it's cool to see the robot evolve.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
All
bye.
right.
Our little robot. What's the name of the robot again?
Fur.
Right.
All right.
Bye, Fur.
JP, what you got going on this week?
Hey, I kind of want to go the other way and build a really big robot and sit on its shoulder and go like this all day long.
Yeah, now you're talking.
I want a big robot that just comes along and picks you up and hugs you, and then puts you down like nothing's happened, and just unleash them in cities, and they just pick you up and hug you, and then release you back, and that's it. And like you'll have to tell your friends like, yeah, sorry, late, I just got to hug a robot. Anyways,
Hugbot.
That's the idea.
So I'm working on these little video nub shanks. In fact, I can hold one up right there. So these are a little ESP32 Pico, which is kind of the original ESP32 architecture. And they have a neat trick that's been figured out by a few super clever people on using the 8-bit DACs to generate analog composite video signals. So if I take this one and plug it in over here, you'll be able to see it better to this TV. I'm just going into the composite video input and changing my channel to TV. So this is this really cool 8-bit dolly clock that I've shown before, but now I've got it in this super great little package that has the BFF for battery charging, so I don't need to power that, but I can charge it later. And then I also worked on Lady Ada's request on a second version of this that generates an NTSC test pattern, which is really useful when you're trying to calibrate a television, figure out the geometry of it, and move the picture around. And maybe you can talk about some of the other display uses you have, Lamore. But
I'm just constantly testing stuff, and it's like generating an NTSC image or PAL image. It's like, unless you have an old Xbox, it's not that easy to just like create an NTSC test pattern. And what I like here is it's got the colors, and then it's also got the text, and the text will let you really know if you're getting a good clear image. I know, like, the Raspberry Pi can do NTSC, but
Right.
I'm always reusing my Raspberry Pis, and I forget which one has the code. So
Yeah.
I wanted like a little thing that was like, this always has a test pattern on it, can plug it in. I always know.
Yeah, it's a few bucks. I mean, I can't remember what that Cutie Pie costs, but Cutie Pie plus BFF, you can use USB and get rid of the BFF and the battery if you want, but we've got just a few parts that are needed to put any video you want on there. And I've just put out a guide on this, and I linked to a few of the projects that led to this. They would pretty much all run on here. The project, the guide right now has the clock on there. I'm going to add the thing about the NTSC. And then if you go to some of the other pages, you can do some 8-bit games and other art projects with them. So pretty fun little video nub there.
Video nub.
Thank you.
Video nub.
Video nub.
He's my best friend. He's a video nub.
Yeah, see, you remember that cartoon too. It wasn't just
I loved that song, that video nub
know.
cartoon on Saturday. And the cereal was terrible, but the
It's the
cartoon.
kids' version of Video Drone.
I mean,
so-
the tie-in serial was a little bit weird, but
Yeah, the action figures were nice though. So JP, you have a show tomorrow, right?
I do. I'll be showing some other stuff, actually a continuation of this, some of this 8x8 Neo Trellis stuff. I've now got a Feather RP2040 running on here. We have usually been using a Feather M4 in these projects, but you know how M4s are these days. They're pretty rare. So I've got this going on RP2040 instead, which is a more plentiful but super capable chip. So I'll show that and some other stuff. So please stop by.
All right. Thanks so much, JP, and see you tomorrow. All right, next up, Noe and Pedro, what you got printing this week?
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up, folks?
Yeah, so PT, you gave me a little assignment to check out this cool new app called Camo to try to turn our iPhone into an overhead camera, and it works beautifully. We don't
Yeah,
have to go around and like click around in that. What's the name of that app that like does
Webcam
the
settings.
yeah, the
you have to
webcam
kinda
settings one.
slide
Yep.
things.
So definitely a good replacement.
looks great.
For, like the overhead that you have. Get rid of that Linux. Get one that runs iOS.
especially if you have an
That's any
old
better.
iPhone, like people who upgrade, they might have an
Yeah.
old iPhone 5.
Exactly,
You know,
yeah.
use that.
the app, apparently they worked with Apple, and it just shows up as a native web camera.
So
And that's the
Web
magic.
was like, what is so cool? The QuickTime can do that. You can, select stream through iPhone. The cool thing about it is that it's not doing a screencast. So you don't have all those annoying notifications. You don't have the UI
Yeah.
getting all in, everywhere.
It's just like now I'm a camera.
Just the camera. Yeah. And you can have like adjust all of your settings. So you can switch to what camera you're focusing on and
Yeah.
like do all the resolution and all that stuff. So lots of like features in there. But the main thing that we also ancillary stuff to mount it. You notice that people were like using a bunch of Lego parts to try to mount it to displays and to laptops. So of course we 3D modeled some nice little Lego parts that, unfortunately with all the new laptops, they have like that notch. So some of the old ones that we had made before, goes completely obstructing it. So like the, what is the dot, whatever sensors that are on there. So nice little notch cutaway. So it will not obstruct any of that. And we had to get a PC laptop to like do some testing for this project here. And it works perfectly in that as well. So Windows, Mac, and the Lego pieces also work on that. So different like parametrics. So you can just type in what the thickness is and it'll update that. And then the other thing was making a little 2x3 of having the 3/4 with the 1/4 on there. So you can use all of our little 20 to 20 parts that we have in the shop to build your own little camera tripod little adapter thingy. Oh, here's one.
There you go.
Yeah,
there,
y'all love
and that
Legos
just has the
and
built-in
1/4
threads.
This is a combo of the two things that you love the most.
Right. So a bunch
Camera
of like
bits.
the Lego camera bits. We have all that in the shop, so you can build your own little holder. So a cool little way
Okay, cool.
to upgrade your casting camera.
Nice.
All right. And we'll be playing these videos and more on Ask an Engineer. Thank you so much, Noe and Pedro.
So
Folks.
All right. Next up, hey, Scott.
Hello.
What you got going on? Is this your first show and tell since you've been back? No, it can't be.
No.
No, I showed the kiddo off.
Yeah.
This is me showing something that I got distracted doing. But I've been trying to understand all of the data that is in a CircuitPython binary, because if you can figure out data that you don't need, you can make the binary smaller, which is a constant challenge for us. And so I was doing some graph visualizations, which I should probably render because they are cool looking, even though I've not found them super helpful. But the other thing that's really common for understanding like where space goes is called tree map. And so yesterday I was just like, why isn't there an easy tree map viewer? If I could just like spit out some JSON file and just view it, how cool would that be? So I mashed two examples I found together and didn't have a whole lot of luck yesterday, but I got it working this morning. So you can now go to .treemap.dev, and I'll just drag a JSON file over here and drop it. And this is the CircuitPython bundle repository, not the bundle itself. So you can see like how much space my Git directory is using, 196 megs or so. I can click here for libraries, and now it switches between drivers and helpers. And then within drivers, we can see Circuit Playground versus Clue, B&O 055, and kind of
This
all
looks
the
like
way
one
down.
of Winderstat, but for
Yeah, it's very common with that. And then docs, and then so you can. It's a great way to kind of dig into what you're looking at and why something is so large. You can see that there's a picture that's 18 megs, which is why that's so large. Shouldn't actually be in the bundle proper though. So I thought that was kind of just a like neat tool, and now I've got something that I can just generate, write a bit of Python code and generate this, and then just use this to visualize what I'm dealing with.
I do like the Winderstat style for exploring sizes. It's definitely like when my computer's like, where is the space going?
Yeah.
It is like, oh my God, there's like 2 log files that are somehow got up to like 18 gigabytes because like,
Right.
I've had this computer for 9 years and it just has appended every day,
Mhm.
and it's really easy to delete stuff. And that way you're not wasting your time like chasing after 1K, 2K here when you can find like, no, there's a chunky, juicy, fluffy section that I can just yoink out.
Yeah, totally. So what I just added that I was just doing it during the meeting earlier was I wrote a simple Python script that you can just give it a directory and it will generate this JSON for you so that you can just drag it here. So anywhere on your computer, you could generate it. The JSON that you drag over doesn't leave your computer. It just is all JavaScript, which is cool too.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Scott. I'm looking forward to one day when our Python on hardware devices can self-run at treemap.dev.
I do not want to get into browser development.
Yeah.
You couldn't pay me enough to do browser development on devices. That's what Linux and
but you do
Chrome
want to write
for.
an IDE, so I don't know. I don't really know if
it's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, check out treemap.dev, and thank you so much, Scott, for sharing this.
Thank you for letting me wander.
Wander the trees.
All right. Next up, we're going to go to Liz, and then Joey. Then I'm going to play Kitty's video. Liz, what you got going on?
Hey, how's it going? This week I worked on this traffic light wearable. And so if you press this little button on the side, it changes the color of the traffic light, and you can use that to let people know how much interaction you want to have if you're at a convention or a meeting or something like that. And one thing that I was like really into with this is I used like diorama plants and grass on the side, and it came out a lot nicer than I thought. Because I was worried with this, so it would look kind of silly. I want to avoid that, obviously. But I really liked the diorama stuff.
Yeah, I remember when we talked about that. I also thought, I'm like, well, maybe that was a bad suggestion because it might look silly, but it looks really good. Also, your close-up camera looks really good as well. So good work on that.
Thanks. Yeah. So there's a guide on this and a quick 1-minute video as well. If folks want to
show that on the show.
Yeah, we're gonna show that tonight, and then folks can learn how to make this and more. And we also have the little traffic lights in the store to make your own little wearable traffic light device.
Yes.
All right. Thanks so much, Liz.
Thanks, Liz.
All right, Joey, what you got going on? Welcome back. Good
Howdy,
to see
y'all.
you.
Hey.
Good to see you too.
Yeah.
So I've been working on a featherwing that actually stems from a desk of Lady Ada from a few months ago, I suppose. I've been doing a lot of LCD stuff with the watch, and Lady Ada was talking about the BU9796, which is an LCD driver chip. And I thought, like, I would like to build a featherwing that has an LCD on it. And so it's now allowed me to build this little LCD featherwing, which these LCDs are great, like low power displays. You've got like, TFTs and OLEDs and such, but this is just like the whole wing like draws like 10 microamps. It's just really amazing. And this is using CircuitPython Deep Sleep to let me press the button here, do a display. So it's in deep sleep here, and then I'm going to press the button and have my temperature and my relative humidity.
Display. I mean, I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, this was fun because I actually had it. I designed it myself, and I had someone, LCD fabricator, put it together for me. And
Wow.
yeah, so it's a really kind of custom gadget. I'm just gonna mind if I share my desktop really quick?
Yeah,
Just,
go for
Yeah,
it.
go for it. I love the little moon. That's not. I was like, how did you get that moon on there? It makes sense. It's custom.
Yeah. So I ended up. Is that shared?
Yep.
There we go. Yeah, so I ended up putting in. You can kind of see if I tilt it back here. 4 icons on the left and AM, PM, and a battery on the right. So there's just
Mhm.
a lot of little possibilities here for different kinds of informational displays, or flash little arrows when you're like transferring data. So yeah. And then this is a skill that I definitely learned from y'all. I have built a tester because I'm hoping to make some of these and make them available on Tindy. So
Right on.
yeah, this tester was definitely something y'all have a really good guide on building testers actually, and these are the pogo pins that y'all stock in the store. But yeah, you just press down on the thing and you press the button, reset, and
Great. There you go.
Okay.
Beep, 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 beep.
If people wonder why we do these
Yeah.
guides and everything, this is why.
Exactly. I learned so much, and I'm able to now make a product, and it's thanks to y'all. So
Also saves you a lot of time.
For sure.
And I feel like if we're all doing this, one of the things that we can do is save each other time. Like if we learn something, it doesn't diminish our product line or anything if we teach someone else to do testers and get further ahead. So we should share that as well.
I'm psyched that yes, guides and videos that we did have inspired someone to make a product, and you're going to sell it.
That's right.
I think it's going to be really popular, and
yeah, this is going to be cool.
We'll stock it at Adafruit too, and it's this is so cool. Because I was thinking about I got that little LCD. And I was like, man, you can drive it with a chip, but I bet there's an off the shelf thing that does it. And then I was on DigiKey. I was like, oh yeah, look, this chip is really nice. And they're the kind of unloved chips. You don't hear about them, and yet they run everything in every car and every toaster, silently, turning on and off segments for you and doing.
I like that the data even mentions fax machines. Of course, why wouldn't it?
I know, but and it's we don't think about it, but it's true.
Yeah.
So good work.
All right. Okay, Joey, we'll keep coming back, and you have our contact info. If and when you want us to order some up, put them in the Adafruit store,
I'll reach out.
We'll do that as well.
Thanks so much, y'all.
All right, take care, Joey.
Bye, Joey.
All right,
All right,
now
so
we're going to beam in past me and past Kitty. She's a physicist, so I think I can pull this off.
You can say Kitty physicist.
Through neutrinos and tachyons. But we did a video recording on Saturday morning because of the time zones, and I said, I'll just play it live on Ask an Engineer. So let's do that now. All right. Hello, Kitty. How are you?
Hello, PT. Good to see you.
Okay, you're a pretty well-known maker. We actually stock one of the things that you make in the store. It's Kitty's Flowers, pair of Bluetooth wearable brooches, art by Physicist. Tell us a little bit about it and what you're up to.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. Yes, as PT just showed on the screen, these are the Bluetooth flowers. It comes as a pair. So they are actually connected through Bluetooth. That's why it's called the Bluetooth flowers. I'm just turning them on right now. You can zoom in onto the flowers. Yeah. So you can see on the front, there are some very beautiful LEDs that decorate the flower. And it actually, the design comes from my drawing. I'm wearing my drawing, my painting on this outfit that actually matched with these flowers. And it comes as a pair. It can be connected. On the back, you will see the Bluetooth antenna. And on the front, there's also a touch sensor. So you can program these flowers to interact. You can show different effects on the LEDs as you touch them. And you can use the Bluetooth to detect distance. And also the back has, you can see the vibrating motor here. So you can also program the vibration to also react to the Bluetooth strength as well as the touching. We also have a accelerometer. It's probably small, but you can see it on the board here. So accelerometer you can use to program the interaction as well. So the idea came from this experience I had when I was a kid. Actually, my mom told me when I was 3, I had a little bit of memory of that, but mostly her telling me that she almost lost me when she took me out shopping. And she just, when she turned around, she couldn't find me anywhere. And she was so worried and was trying to look for me everywhere. And she had the announcement in the store asking for me. After a couple of hours, she almost gave up. She saw I was lost, but then she saw like a little pair of feet underneath a giant coat. And she opened it up. I was inside. I was playing hide and seek with her, and I was giggling. I found it funny, but it was devastating for her. So it just stuck with me. That story stuck with me. And when I started building some maker project, I always thought that what can I do to help that kind of situation? So I came up with these flowers. If you look at the Hexter.io projects, I had the open source process, and I used the DF Robots Bluetooth Beetles as my prototyping boards, and then connected them with this functionality. But we then worked together on designing these really nice boards. So they are PCBs on the back. You can see the components, but on the front, they're very beautiful and decorative. So then you can program them to interact between your loved ones. When they are out of the factory setting, those are basically doing what I was talking about, that scenario that if you wear with your kid, if they run off for more than 2 meters, you can of course change the number, but you can then get sensed and your flower on you will start vibrating. So no need to use a phone to track your kid or something. But yeah.
All right. Yeah, this is great. It's a beautiful story. And I was thinking, so it was raining yesterday here. And well, the rain is, it's raining, but that's what makes flowers, grow and happen. This was a story about loss and maybe something scary, but then it turned into something beautiful now that people can be reminded of not only the story, but they could have something that's very special to them, that's wearable, and it's connected to another person, which also makes it special. All right. And so we stock these on adafruit.com, and they could just search for kitty or flowers. But where else could people find out about your work and more? Because you do a lot of stuff in addition to Bluetooth wearables.
Sure, yeah. This is part of the Art by Physicist collection. So that's my own fashion brand. So the outfit I'm wearing is also my design through that brand. This is a special type of fashion tech that we also stock on the brand website. It's just my name, kittyyeung.com. So the brand is specializing in wearable tech and fashion tech. So you find all kinds of designs with my hand painting, digitally printed on the fabrics. And there are also accessories that match with the outfits. You can also find my work on Hexter.io. I have also quite a lot of open source projects there. We did, for these flowers, we did a holiday hack in December last year during Christmas. So a bunch of really cool makers got together, like Alex Glow, Deborah, Amy D.D, Helen Lay, we all grouped together, Mohib, Jazz, David, Ginger. So we did a live streaming of hacking these flowers, and we came up with all kinds of really interesting ideas. So we had I think it was Mohib and Tanya Fish, that also thought about using them for detecting elderly falls. So they can wear this using the accelerometer to detect any sudden changes in the motion. So that was a really nice application as well. I remember Tanya also did something to count the number of spoons using these as counters.
How many spoons you have
Um,
left?
Yeah, you can touch the sensor to say I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spoons. Alex used this to make use them as timers for breathing. So you can have these LEDs show up, and you hold your breath to control your breath. Wait for the LEDs to go through a full circle, and then do another round of breathing. So those are really interesting ideas. I love seeing how people use them for. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We coordinated this because we're in different time zones and we wanted to have you on the show and tell. So thank you so much, Kitty. And folks, get them. We have just a few left and we'll have some more later, and check out all of Kitty's work and more.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that worked.
All right.
All right, so that's our show and tell for tonight, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us and being here. We'll see everyone next week, 7:30 p.m. every single Wednesday. That's the show and tell. Come by, show and share your projects. And thank you for making this the best half an hour every week. Every single week, Ask an Engineer starts in 2 minutes. Bye, everybody.